What is up, everybody? Back for another tip for Tuesday with Brett and Brian. So, what we've been talking about is managing your buyers list over the last couple of weeks. We talked about making it more than just an email list, where you're actually keeping a spreadsheet or keeping track of it in a CRM of all the criteria that your buyer, everything that they're interested in for those buyers, as well as some personal notes and things. And along with those personal notes, that you're reaching out to these people individually, and just maintaining that relationship. So, those are the things we talked about the last couple of weeks. One of the things I want to get into today with you, Brett, is basically how big should your buyers list be? So we've been doing this for a while and things, and our buyers list is fairly extensive. It's a pretty big buyers list. We've done lots of deals with other buyers throughout the city, but then also on that list, so there's a lot of people that we have done deals with. There's a lot of people too that are, maybe we just kind of call tire kickers. They're not really interested. They're just added to the list to see kind of what's going on and things like that. So when you're talking about how big that buyers list is and how relevant that is to your business, I know a couple of weeks ago you mentioned that kind of quality versus quantity. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit and just kind of get into, is it really that important for your buyers list to just be enormous? Is that what you should really be doing?
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I talked about a quality buyer versus just racking up 100 buyers. I would rather have one quality buyer that's going to be a repeat buyer. They're looking to buy a couple of properties a month rather than have 100 tire kickers that are going to waste a lot of your time. So when you're building your buyers list, start asking them questions. When's the last time you bought a property? What price ranges are you buying in? What areas of town are you buying in? And, talk to them about asking them personal questions as well, and figure out if they're really a quality type of buyer. Now, if you build your buyers list with quantity, obviously you might have more of a chance to get some of those quality buyers in there. So I'm not saying don't build it,
Yeah.
but still nurture and build those relationships along the way. Our buyers list right now is a few thousand buyers, but I would probably say only about 10 to 15% of them have actually purchased a property, right? So we're really focused on those, and we still send out our mass email to all the buyers because we never know when their life's going to change. But we're really trying to nurture those relationships of those repeat buyers that have bought from us before and they're really serious.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a really good point too, of just kind of, we're really saying like, focus on that quality versus the quantity and stuff like that. But I've had somebody ask me before of like, well, how do you know when your buyers list is finished? Like, when should you stop adding names? Never. Like, always be adding names to your buyers list. So you always want to make sure you kind of you're going to have that quantity that comes along with it the more you're doing it. But like I said, figure out who those real buyers are, where that quality comes from, because as you're adding more and more people to your buyers list, there might be that one just buyer that's gold for you, and they start buying multiple properties and stuff like that too. So kind of it's a
I think
mix.
that's a good point. And Brian, I just want to throw in there as well is don't put all your eggs in that one basket,
Mhm.
because you might have a few buyers. And like you said, Brian, you're like, hey, I'm working with these few buyers. They buy everything that I come across, and I'm not going to build my buyers list anymore. Well, their life could change too. They could go out of business. They could run out of money super fast, or whatever that's the case. So never stop building that buyers list, so you can be safe and your whole business isn't in their hands, right? So
Right. So awesome. Thanks a lot. Good nuggets, Brett. And we'll see you guys back next week for one more episode talking about managing your buyers list and our tips for Tuesday.